This is the plaintiff, Glenn Johnson. He says he purchased some cement from the defendant, and when the truck was delivering it, it ran into some overhead power lines at his house. The guy ripped down the pole, some wires, and pulled the shingles right out of his roof. The unapologetic defendant told him to go through his insurance, but he refuses because his premiums will go up. And well, here they are. He's suing for $1,142.38, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, Michael Sears. He says he's not responsible for any damage once he goes onto someone's property. The plaintiff's just being a stubborn guy who refused delivery of the concrete. He's in the right, and he knows the judge will agree because he's been down this road before. He's accused of having a concrete case. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $430.29 for driver's fees and supplies.
Okay, Glenn Johnson.
Yes.
You are suing Sears Ready Mix Limited, represented here by Michael Sears. You're the owner?
Yes, dude.
All right. For $1,142.38 in damages that you say occurred as a result of their driver coming to drop concrete off. You have a counterclaim against him for $430.29. The amount of the actual invoice in this case, which he did not pay after what happened. What happened?
Well, Your Honor, back on September 26th of last year, I had a delivery scheduled for between 12 and 1 o'clock. After the truck arrived,
The truck was a delivery of cement.
Cement, correct.
And what were you going to use it for?
A window well.
Okay.
Okay, so the truck was about an hour late. The first thing the driver did is he wanted us to sign a delivery slip.
Before he delivers it?
Before he delivered it, yes.
Okay.
My wife is very reluctant to sign anything. We're very reluctant to sign anything before we take delivery. But he did you already have a signed contract or no? No, not yet. No.
Okay. So what happened? Did you sign it or didn't you?
He insisted, and she signed it.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I see what you signed?
Well, we don't have that because.
Can I see what they signed? Go on. So go ahead. What happens? Tell me what happens.
Okay, so there were 3 vehicles that were in the way. We had to move a car, a pickup truck, and a backhoe.
Okay. So you move the car, you move the pickup, and you move the tractor. And what happened?
Well, no, not exactly. You see, I know I don't walk that fast, but in the time it took me to walk to the backyard, I hadn't even started up the tractor yet. I heard the driver yell, "We have a problem," and I saw a big mess.
What was a mess?
The truck had tangled the electric wires, pulled the electric mast away from the house, the steel pole holding the wires, ripped off the soffit and part of the roof.
Oh, good Lord. Do you have a picture of this?
Yeah, we have plenty of
May I
pictures.
see it?
Yeah.
Okay. You are the owner of the company.
Yes, sir.
Who's that gentleman sitting there?
Chris, the driver?
Driver. Come on up, driver. You weren't out there, right?
No.
What happened?
Okay, I went there to deliver the concrete. Before crossing the curb, I asked them to sign the ticket, which states that we're not responsible for anything once we cross the curb. I pulled over. They wanted me to go over
Anything
to
at all? You're not responsible for anything at all once you cross the curb?
Correct.
May I see the receipt that you guys signed?
The receipt basically just states that we are not responsible for damages and they are responsible for payment of the concrete.
In the event of delivery beyond the curb line, this company will not assume liability for damage to curbs, sidewalk, driveways, or other property. Well, now okay, that's fine. That's what he's going to say. What are you going to say?
Okay.
What happened? Apparently, you drive the truck and you pull down a bunch of wires. It pulls down the electrical post and rips a guy's roof and soffit. All right, let's leave to him the but I'm not liable judge. And I want what comes before the but I'm not liable. What happened?
Like the gentleman said, they asked me to pull to the left side of the house. I was unable to reach where I needed to pour the concrete. So I backed out the truck, waited for them to move their vehicles, and pulled around the side where they asked me to pull around to, so that the wires were pulled, stopped the truck.
But how did that happen? Don't you look up to see? You got a big truck.
Even when you're in a truck, you're unable to see above you. Basically,
Well, no,
there's a chute,
I don't expect your cement truck to have a sky roof. I expect your eyeballs to look up and look at, what their surroundings are, because this is sort of a big truck. I mean, it's a cement truck.
Your
So
Honor,
don't
you're
you? Just a
looking-
second.
okay.
Just a second. So I'm sort of curious how you don't look to see what the clearing is. I had one of these types of houses. Mine was a lot lower than this.
I did not see the
Did you
lines
look,
when I
though?
walked. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
And you didn't see the wires? I
I
know
did
there's
not
trees,
see the
I know
wires.
there's
There's
leaves,
a
but I mean,
lot going on. There's a
a
lot
lot
to look
going on,
for.
but there's still wires going to this post right here. I mean, it's not that hidden.
I understand. I did not see
The
them.
heck? Open your eyeballs. Come on. And what'd you say?
What'd I
you
say?
when all
I
this
said we
happened?
have a problem. I said there are wires on the
What
truck.
else did you say? You didn't say
I
I'm
called my
sorry?
boss. I called my boss
You
and
didn't
I
say I'm
told him.
sorry, or you're trained not to say you're sorry because it might show weakness. I mean, seriously, say you're sorry. I just want to know. I'm standing there. My roof gets pulled down. I want to know what
I
you
told him
said.
we have a problem. I mean,
You really didn't say you're sorry?
I don't recall.
Can somebody actually enforce a contract against you where they disclaim their own negligence?
I think if it'd be smart if you actually read the contract before you signed it. And
But is it enforceable? Is it valid?
I don't think it's very valid. It's not ethical, I guess, if you want to say that way. But you got to read what you.
Bottom
sign.
line, is it enforceable? You're going both ways on this.
I would say it's enforceable if you sign the contract.
Okay. You actually had 3 positions in 20 seconds. That was good. Going inside the courtroom.
Well, my company policy that you see on every sheet, lawns get ruined, sprinkler systems get ruined, trucks fall into septic systems out in Long Island. That's all reasons for it. Not that we're not responsible for what took place. We do this because I'm willing to help the homeowner, but it's a specialty. They make machines that can bring it right through your house on a hose.
Right.
That you do it, it's an extra expense, of course.
But you provide that.
Of course.
Right.
But it's an extra expense. So
Right.
when you cut corners, unfortunately, damage happens in construction.
Right. When you sign the contract, which happens before the damage, it says, I need you to come onto my property, essentially. It doesn't say those words, but that's what it says if we go onto your property. I need you to come onto my property, and if you do, I'm holding you harmless for any damage that happens on my property.
first of
Why?
all-
Hold on, I'm not done. Why? Because there are mechanisms to get the concrete, to keep their truck on the street, and to have the concrete get to where you need it to get to. It just will cost you more to do it that way. But if they're going to go ahead and drive onto your property, they want to know that they're not going to be responsible for all the other things that can go wrong. So why is it that you feel that I should not hold you to what you agreed to in this contract? In the event of delivery beyond the curb line, this company will not assume liability for damages to curbs, sidewalks, driveways, or other property.
Okay, the reason I feel that we think what is reasonable are the kind of expendable things that are like plants, shrubbery, sprinkler heads, the things that are just not visible. And what the time pressure was that we were dealing with at this point was the driver was pushing. We needed the concrete delivery, and we were feeling particularly pressured that
People sign
we
things
need
that
it.
they regret later for all kinds of
And-
reasons. These do not make exceptions to the law for you. They don't make. This is the contract you entered into. Nobody forced you to enter into it. You felt compelled to because of your time pressures or his time pressures. You wanted the job done. Whatever it is, that's fine. Those aren't. That doesn't translate to I don't have to hold you to your contract. This is your contract. Your contract says, if you come onto my property, I won't hold you liable for damage to this, or other property. And that is included here. There's no reason for me to exclude it from what's here. It doesn't say, I won't hold you liable for damages that happen to things you can't see. That doesn't say that. I can't read the stuff you want me to read into it now that everything hit the fan. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to hold them liable. That's my verdict. Verdict for the defendant. Oh, you have a counterclaim against them for the rest of the cement. Are you serious?
Well, I put a claim in. Yeah, I had to throw the concrete out. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them bringing me here.
Were you pouring concrete on that day? Were you going to go ahead and hand over that concrete on that day, or was this enough to like freak everyone out enough that this wasn't happening?
Yeah, if they were willing to accept
Answer
it.
me honestly.
If they were willing to accept it, if they had a wheelbarrow and were willing to accept it, I would have poured the concrete.
I'm not going to order them to pay for the concrete under these circumstances. I understand why you counterclaimed for it, okay? But under these circumstances, I don't think anybody was going to be handing over concrete with everything that had gone wrong that day, okay? So 0 on your counterclaim, 0 on the claim.
Well, so a contract is a contract, and that's how the law works. What's your feeling on the outcome here? You understand that?
Well, if the driver had took a little more responsibility and took his time, this never would have happened. And another question: why does the company go by 3 different names? It's hard to contact them.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sorry, your case went down. Head right down this way, and so come on in here, the cement guy. So step on in here. That That disclaimer pretty much covers everything, and you're aware of that.
Correct.
I mean, they don't know what they're signing at the last second when you ask them to sign that document,
No, I
right?
tell them straight up, before I cross your curb, you must sign the thing. Right above it is where it says. Where the signature goes, cross
Do you
curb.
point that out? That
Most definitely. I can't go on the property until you sign this paper.
I know, but do you point out to what they're signing? You're
Well,
signing
the judge has
something
it
that
with you. I can
says.
show you the paper. The
So
word's
you don't
right
point
there.
it out.
It's
You don't point
in black bulk letters.
How come you couldn't see those wires? And didn't you look up
Let
when
me
you
ask you a
uh,
looked
question.
around? I'm asking the question.
Front loading concrete, you're
What'd
unable
you say?
in a front loader concrete mixer, you're unable to see what is above you. So
You couldn't do a walk around first?
I did do a
You
walk
didn't
around. I
see
did not see it. It was their house. They should know where their lines are.
They're not driving the truck.
But they lived there 10
Harvey?
years.
Okay, somebody actually can disclaim responsibility for their own negligence, which is all the more reason. Read the contract.